Alrighty. Hello, hello, greetings and salutations. Guess what time it is? It is time for some D's and D's, babies. D's and D's, babies. So, hello, hope you're having a wonderful day, or morning, or an evening, or whatever it may be for you currently. Um, we're gonna be a little short tonight, so it may be a shorter session than usual, but we'll kind of see how they play things out. Let me make sure I have all my notes up here. My face. Oh shit, did I not? Was I looking? I might have been looking at the wrong faction. Wait, hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Where is it? Oh, that was from the wrong thing I was reading. That's okay. Sometimes when you have so many notes. Alright. So, who can recall what happened last time?
We found little one.
We sure did.
Alright. Sweet. Anything else you might be able to recall?
Mhm. I didn't kill
Zed
anybody.
didn't die.
That didn't die.
Yeah,
Oh wait, I
we
did kill
made
somebody.
we managed to defeat the five-armed troll, and that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
And then Zed was revived at that point after that, and we kind of searched the troll, I think, a little bit, but I didn't really want to get involved with the whole loincloth situation. But it was suggested there might have been something worth finding under there. I'm not sure, but uh, yep. And then we kind of continued our way through the caves. Um,
Well, warehouse.
the corridors here, and then I discovered at some point that I was missing my magical warlock's rod. That's it's a pretty powerful artifact. It's kind of important to me, but maybe it was stolen. Maybe I dropped it somewhere along the way. So I don't know. I intend to go back and try to find it. But we came upon a certain room, and the room was a little bit otherworldly. Maybe can somebody fill us in a little more about what that room was like?
I remember there were flowers, and there was I think like a ship in a bottle.
Yeah, it was some sort of like almost like a maybe another little pocket dimension of the Feywild or something. There were
Mm.
weird colors and strange plants and things like that, and yeah, some sort of a ship that looked like it might be used by somebody to travel maybe an astral sea, and it was a really cool model, and I wanted to try to take it because I don't know who it doesn't seem like it belongs here, and maybe it could be of some benefit to us, but the artifact kind of resisted being taken. And then I felt like Veldrin got some sort of special sign, maybe, that, yeah, it shouldn't be taken away. And that's how we interpreted it. So we eventually put it
Mm.
back. Then we made our way out. And then I'm a little fuzzier on. I know that we came upon a party of villains, kind of. And I don't, yeah, but I'm a little fuzzy on that sequence.
I kicked in a door.
The door was indeed kicked in, yes.
I squashed somebody.
There was indeed a squashed person under that door, yes.
Hmm. And I made a second deal with some people, and it wound up working out great.
Just a little bit of gambling.
Hmm.
Why is the lighting different from me? Well, if that is all you guys can remember,
Well, also we learned a little bit about these foes, right? And how they ended up stealing little one maybe, and they're like a goblin gang of which there seem to be several in this town. And we sort of right, they had accepted the little one as their leader in some farcical reversal of roles, I'm sure. And then yeah, they kind of said, "Hey, we're with you guys. Like we can party with I can't remember their name. It was something pretty tough though. Some sort of claw contingent, I'm not sure."
oh, I was hitting the wrong button. I'm so used to hitting my other hotkey.
But they seem really they're not super bright. They're kind of like the Eight Stooges or something.
Well, if there was 8 of them, there's 7 now because the door kind of crushed one of them to death.
Mm.
All right.
I think my demon buddy's gone too.
Well, you did make a deal with him. He'd help you find him.
Hmm.
All right. So we will unpause, switch scenes. Oop. Hold on. We'll do this correctly. Oopsie. Guess it must have. Hold on. This one. What point did you do that? So, like I said, if that's all you guys can recall happening, we essentially just pick up with a somewhat exasperated Zed, a little annoyed with the group of people in there, a little stomping out there, a little bit of interrogation of little one and him basically saying, well, basically you guys are like, yeah, we almost died. Why didn't you tell us where you were going? And like, little one was just like, well, you didn't give me enough time to come back and tell you. So now let's switch the scene. Oop, there we go. So the question now is, where's y'all's going? What's the plan? Where you heading? You can hear the sounds of elevated hand slaps in the previous room. And also, Zed, if you've said anything, we have not heard a word.
Well, I, for one, would like to kind of retrace our steps and maybe see if just before we exit this building, if maybe I did drop uh, that rod of the Pact Keeper somewhere, but it might have been stolen by somebody else.
Sure, where you want to look.
Well, I guess back the way that we came.
Yep, you should have the freedom to move your token.
Say the one, the one now. There's a helicopter flying over.
So you're free to move wherever you're searching.
All right. Well, I guess I certainly consult with the other members of the party and say, it's really embarrassing, but I seem to have lost a pretty important artifact that can have kind of a nice effect positively on my magic, and I'd like to go check out the corridors we walked down before we exit this warehouse, if indeed we're done being here.
Do you remember what rooms you went into?
Well, we were in the Fey room, and then it was pretty straight shot back to the place where we felled the five-armed troll. But beyond that, I mean, we've just walked where other people have walked.
When was the last time you remember having it?
Gosh, and I'm hitting my head a little bit. Like I should know this. I took it for granted. I took the power for granted. But I don't know. I can't remember. It must have been outside this warehouse sometime. But I don't know when. It was certainly before I went in this fairy room here.
Let me
Oh,
keep the
well,
camera
like,
focused.
where do you keep it? Do you notice? I'm not really sure what it is. Like, for instance, if I had something in my pocket and all of a sudden it was gone, and I reached in my pocket and there was a hole in my pocket, then probably fell out the hole somewhere. But uh, I guess what I'm
Right.
getting at is, do you think you dropped it? Like, is there evidence maybe that whatever was holding it is frayed or worn, or
No, this belt is certainly made of the finest leathers, but yeah, it was well secured to my person, and I don't remember rolling around on the ground, although I certainly have in the past. Uh, so I don't know. It's possible it was some ragamuffin outside who took it, but I did capture one already, and he hadn't stolen anything from me. Hmm, quite a conundrum. But the best I can do is just retrace my steps here, I guess.
got a feeling that, yeah, it might have been stolen. There's, these goblins got a thing where they like to steal from one another, and they kind of look at it as like prideful, and Um,
Could I
I have no
could I
idea
well,
what
have
that
been
lighting is
so
like that.
duped? I don't remember anything. Ah,
well, it's not.
What's the
It's not
lighting
just
like
the
that?
goblins. I see. When I was younger, I I knew all about the um,
That's not the lighting for me.
the sort
This
of
is not here.
goblin game, whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
I see.
not not being a goblin really. I but well,
We try
let's just say
something.
I participated, and it was easy for me to distract people while, let's say, other
Oh.
people shuffled around in their pockets,
Hmm.
or vice versa. So you said you came across a child that was trying to steal from you.
Yes, this little urchin had his grubby mitts. He was trying to get right into our mimic, into our bag of holding. But I was able to intercept him, and I was able to send him on his way. But it couldn't have been him that nicked it from me.
Well, no, but
Maybe he
I
distracted somebody. Distracted me. Oh well. Maybe there's a lead on it somewhere outside these dastardly goblins. Grumble.
well, I guess we know the folks that are in there, ones that took little one. Um, Not really sure we can trust them, but
They
they
didn't
didn't
seem to
have a
have it.
reason. They didn't have a reason to lie, and they were unaware of whatever you had stolen.
Right.
So that leads me to believe that if it were stolen, it wasn't them. Um,
Right.
Now, little one was grabbed when we were at the inn. Just you know, so
Maybe
if
that's
we
a
don't,
place to start. You're right.
yeah, if we don't find anything here, maybe we go back and at least put a word into Scar. Say, hey, unfortunately, things are going missing in your establishment.
Right. Maybe he's seen a magic rod or two in his time. We'll see.
Well, I'm sure he'd like to get to the bottom of it because that wouldn't bode well for
Certainly.
the reputation of his place.
Well, all right. Let's make our way out of this maze here. Warehouse, useless though it is. Grumble, grumble. And can I go at like kind of half speed here and search the ground as I go,
Yup.
even if it's in vain?
Perceive away. See what they
Did
see.
you say I should roll a perception,
Yep.
or I should? Okay.
As you are perusing through the halls of this old warehouse,
Hmm.
not
I mean, I'll do
finding
perception.
much. I mean, if people are looking.
Ugh. I guess that's a 16.
It would be. And what's Veldrin and Valorous doing?
Help. Or not.
And what's Veldrin doing?
My computer's being very slow.
Ah, perceiving. Okay. So you collectively begin searching through the halls, taking your time, looking around barrels, looking under barrels, um, just sort of scooting debris out the way, and to no avail do you find anything that really stands out that you haven't already seen or interacted with. Just the
Okay.
halls are, well, not real halls, but the walkways are relatively quiet, save for voices coming from the room that you just left, people talking amongst themselves. And beyond that, nope, you don't seem to spot anything interesting.
All right. Well, I guess I should steady on then.
Let's see, which rooms have I not been in to check that one?
Does anybody really know where we're going? I just feel like I'm kind of going in the right way, but
And pretty much once again back in that hallway where you fought the big old troll. His body is still down there.
nice. Can I perceive again, maybe? I mean, I bet it's in vain, but
This is still the same scene technically, so
oh,
you
okay.
you're sort
I
of
just saw it as just the scene of the crime, so I was like, oh, maybe it's here somewhere, but
yeah, because otherwise you'll be searching every single hallway, and then nah, it's a sort of your
right.
cursory. This is you looking as you go. Because otherwise it's just crit farming.
Okay, well, I recognize this place. Here's the unfortunate remains of that aggressive creature.
Mm-hmm. And as pretty much as before, there's the debris from what was once a door and parts of a wall that it burst out of. And as you make your way down here, there's like clearly signs of some kind of a struggle, excessive bleeding. Somebody must have got hurt real bad over here. Almost akin to like a horror movie where there was just like blood on the floor, like against the wall. Like, man, somebody must have really got messed up down here. But luckily for you, you already know the answer to that mystery.
Yeah, yes, there's no corpse. What a mystery.
And yes, because it seems like you guys are heading out.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. I'll follow them.
Oh no. And pretty much as you guys are heading out, oh no, okay. You can kind of hear, well, you guys kind of rolled terrible in your perception. Veldrin, I mean, yeah, Veldrin might have. So, Veldrin, you would have heard what sounds like the door coming into the warehouse, like shutting, and some footsteps inside the little, like, mini corridor area. And based on your vision, kind of seems like somebody's coming around the corner.
He'll turn around to the group and gesture to the door. There's someone up ahead.
Should we hide or should we fight them?
Well, we have an agreement with the rest of the group, but they might not know.
We should probably stand proud then.
All right, so y'all's just gonna stand awkwardly in the walkway, basically. Is what it sounds like.
Well, is somebody coming in or are we just trying to leave?
Both.
Yeah, well, we should probably greet whoever's coming in.
How far is this? It's like 50 feet away from the entrance from that door. Okay. So you would see what appears to be a singular person. They look like, they look like an elven woman. And she kind of notices the door being open and kind of peeks in and then sees you guys. And there's an awkward silence as you're like 50 feet from each other, just staring at each other.
Uh, hello there. Hello over there,
Eh,
is what I call out.
Hello? Uh, is, is, is this the place where I pick up my package?
I look at
What?
the members of the group.
It depends on what you expect to be in.
Uh,
What are you looking for when
uh,
you say your package?
she just holds up a piece of parchment from 50 feet away. Um, this order number thing? As at this point you're like yelling across this room.
Belgium's gonna come over to see what's on that order slip.
It's just like numbers, kind of like a
Just numbers. It
delivery.
doesn't say like what. It doesn't say what was purchased.
Nah, it's not a receipt. It's basically just like, like the equivalent of like your UPS like tracking number.
Hmm.
Madam, I don't think this is the place.
Uh, oh. Um, okay. Maybe it's in a different warehouse. Okay, maybe I got turned around. Apologies. And she just
What
like,
did you order?
I didn't order it. I'm just here to pick it up.
Who? So you're picking it up for who?
And my boss?
Who is?
And as you're like pushing the matter, she's kind of like narrowing her eyes a little bit. See?
Apologies, I'm new.
Give me a deception. Let's It's gonna be plus. So,
Lying, he is new to the area.
yeah, I'll just try and find the right warehouse. Thank you. As you see her just like open the door and just like walk out.
Veldrin's kind of keeping an eye on her, but he's also gonna. Do you think they tried to sell Little One?
Uh, not sure unless it was already lined up before they snagged him. Hadn't really been that long.
Someone could have been watching us.
Someone's been watching us. I'm pretty sure we've got evidence of that.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about those guys. They work for me
They
now.
obviously didn't know what they were picking up, but
No.
someone sent him here. Now I'm curious who they were supposed to meet with if they didn't know what they were supposed to collect. There hadn't been anyone else here except for those gobos that came out of the floor, so they weren't here before either. Unless it's one of the robots acting as maybe like a caretaker or something.
Do you think we should follow her?
We'll have to go quickly.
Well, I don't see any need to hang around here much longer.
It's a big city. I'm not really sure it's our business unless you feel inclined.
I suppose you're right. Just seems like there's a scheme around every door these days.
Does anyone else happen to be missing anything that you may have not realized was gone?
Inventory checks.
Speaking of, you mentioned, Vel, folks might be watching us. If there are eyes on us and we're all missing something, that
I'm not missing anything.
Me neither.
there may be anything on you that you didn't have before. Sometimes
An interesting
when I would
twist.
steal things as a kid, if I knew I was about to get caught, I'd stow it away, sometimes on someone else's person.
I still have my little gem.
Yes, I'm only missing that rod of the Pact Keeper. I am vexed.
Well,
So, you can give me a
if it-
history check.
Who?
Kozik. Well, actually, I'd say Kozik and Zed because they were both round.
21.
All right.
That's also
So,
not bad.
coming to the deduction, of who is missing things and who is not, and thinking about at what point would said individuals have been somewhat separated from the group. And with a 21 and a 18, well, there was that little tidbit pretty, a day or two ago, um, where all those kids were utterly enthralled by Kozik and they surrounded him and were completely enticed. Hmm. Well, that and the situation just outside, but Kozik caught that kid.
I must admit the hustle and bustle of the city, but yeah, those kids that surrounded me, the ragamuffins, they're everywhere.
And of course, with the 18 from Zed, the one kid that seemed to be acting a little different, just so happened to also be around the time when Veldrin got that note. There was a lot going on. Hmm. And then there was also, not forgetting, the individual that just so happened to have his stack of paper just in the most opportune time to get blown everywhere. Hmm. There's a few instances.
That's right. Well, I guess, Zed and I are talking about these things, like these would probably be the most likely times that somebody could swipe something that was taken. Hmm. Well, I wonder, maybe, so it could be somewhere on the black market, I guess. Could be out there, and probably I didn't just drop it somewhere.
So my thought process is we came into town brand new. You could tell it. You've got the air of nobility, so you've kind of maybe got the attention of folks that like to peruse pockets.
Two nobles, Inanna.
True, but I mean, just speaking to Kozik directly. Um,
Too much time spent out in the outback, out in the bush. I'm not used to these city ways. I should know better.
well, if they did nick something from you when we were all surrounded and I was kind of trying to do magic and whatnot, um, well, you might be a mark, and
Go.
that might be why the other kid came after you. Is the words getting around, hey, this guy's got stuff. And if that's the case, and they're not caught or don't think that you're onto them, they might keep trying it. And that could be a way that we catch them.
Right. They don't know that I know that they know. Well, they don't. Right. Right. I'm with you.
Right. However, just like the one that tried to get his hands in the mimic, we don't know who's got what you're looking for. And if it's a whole bunch of kids working together, then we really don't know who's got it, because that could be one kid might keep it because he feels like he likes it and it's neat, or it's just a commodity that they could get coin or food from.
Well, let's keep an eye out for these kids, as these so-called kids, and if we see them, well, we'll see what happens. But I guess we have to get on with our other activities that we're doing here in town. That's for sure.
I even made him roll for which item got stolen, which was that's why I was like,
I'll
oh
just have to be more
no.
vigilant, but I certainly don't think I should hide my nobility. That I don't think would do very well for me. So I'll just have to be extra vigilant from now on. Shall we go?
Yeah, probably.
Eyeball. Ow. All right. So it sounds like y'all's heading out. But pretty much, once again, back into the city streets. However, at this point, with the time spent, it is getting to be evening. Well, it is evening. It is just not like nighttime yet. So yeah, you kind of get the feeling you've been in here, like looking around, getting in the fights, um, doing a lot of searching and investigating. It's been a couple hours, a few hours to say the least. So at this point, there is not nearly as much hustle and bustle. At this time of night, there is enough, but you probably get the feeling that it's a lot of people returning to their homes or returning to their businesses to, lock up for the evening. Um, the foot traffic is definitely whittling down compared to the very active day and hustle and bustle of a large city. Um, and yeah, pretty much when you step out, it's getting to be nighttime realistically, because it is evening. Yeah, yeah, afternoon, I guess. Um, so the question will just be where y'all heading now. Like you sort of have free reign. You don't really necessarily have a set goal per se. Um, and you probably would overhear people as they're just walking by talking about some of the amenities of Kronossus, and you hear just sort of just with your passive perception because people aren't necessarily trying to hide it either. So you would overhear conversations about gambling and how some people are gonna go and try and make a fortune, and like the only losers at gambling are the ones that quit. Um, you would hear about obviously, yeah, the you would hear about like a fight pit, um, basically like gladiatorial pit kind of thing. You would overhear that there might be some kind of a bake off going on soon. Um, not tonight though. And yeah, that's about what you hear in the brief moments of being outside. Probably whispers of there's been a uptick in people's belongings going missing recently. So you know, crime's gone up in this city. This city's going to hell because crime's going up. Stuff like that. The old passerby rumor mill kind of chatter. But you also know that you could also just head back to the Adventurer's Rest.
Hey, didn't you still need to get your was it like your Warhammer or whatnot that you were trying to get fixed that you had trouble the merchants not knowing it belonged to you?
Right, that's right. We were supposed to
And
go
one
back. Well, I think we're supposed to go back on the day shift, aren't we?
I I thought that's what you did. You went in the morning, yeah?
I think you're right.
Like,
Well, let's go back.
yeah, let's go. I guess we go check there because my thought was that had to have been somewhat near that that sort of area that all those kids were at, yeah?
That is a good idea. Um, yeah, I think it would be worth a trip back over there to the shop before we go back to the Adventurer's Rest, probably.
Yeah, might as well. See what we
Right.
see or maybe hear along the way.
Check something. I gotta find a note on some character. Or
What was that you said? Was that a question to me, or did I miss something?
Oh no, I was just saying we'll see what we might see
Okay.
or hear along the
No,
way.
good. It's just nobody said anything. I'm like, oh, I hope nobody was waiting for me.
okay, I have to double check because they want that to be a mystery. Okay. All right, so you guys are heading to the shop basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
All right, you're heading to the shop. That would be. Gotta open my note for the shop. I think it was Scolded Shield.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
Because the other place was the more magically inclined place, right?
Yeah.
Hammer and Flail. Okay. Scolded Shield. All right. So y'all's head to, you're heading through the city. Um, like I said, there's still a little bit of hustle and bustle. And just to have something on screen here, since I don't have an exact street layout. Let's go with Mox. Um, so yeah, you're making your way through Kronossus. You're overhearing these conversations. You're overhearing like these sort of points of interest, these events that would be going on, could be going on. They didn't exactly give you a time or a location, but it's almost as if people are familiar enough with it that they could just mention it and just assume whoever knows. Um, and you're making your way back to the Scolded Shield, to which they are open.
All right, excellent. Well, let's see if we can resolve this. They wouldn't give me my repaired Warhammer back because I didn't have the ticket. Well, let's see what they have to say.
So you walk in, and at this point, you would
Right.
see two elves working.
All right. Well, I approach them and I greet them. Say, "Oh, hello, hello, shopkeeps."
Greetings.
Yes. I believe that your establishment was repairing a certain Warhammer for me, and when I came in the other day, there was or when I came in last, I didn't seem to have any sort of ticket for its return. I wonder if you could help me with that.
Ah, yes, we remember you. Well, you would be pleased to know that your item has been acquisitioned, and the individuals that took your order have since been relinquished from the shop's employment.
Oh, well, okay. Was there other sort of disciplinary problems with them? Certainly they weren't fired on my account.
Well, unfortunately, that is not for us to be presenting to the general public.
I see.
And then one of the elves, they walk into the back and then come back out. They fully fitted pickaxe. We apologize for the inconvenience, but as we've mentioned, the aforementioned individuals have since been let go.
Well, did they abscond with my property?
No, but we are also not really at liberty to give details on the matter. Apologies, citizen.
Well, yes, I am a perhaps citizen of somewhere. Uh, well, and so wait, so they've do I understand the situation here? They've come back with some sort of pickaxe.
Yeah, they have your stuff.
Oh, okay. I was just I'm looking for a warhammer. That's I didn't know if
Oh,
it
was the
was like
Warhammer?
a
I thought it was the head of the. Hold on.
no. The war pick is good.
Yeah, his hammer broke when he was hitting something somewhat recent. It was like the head popped off of the handle.
Yeah, I think I got the war pick was like completed at some
The
earlier
pick was done.
Hmm.
juncture. But
All
yeah,
right, get
that's
that.
when I hit the hard floor of the ice cave, and it was like the dragon symbol or
Let me
something, right? That
correct
was gonna.
this.
It was like the Nexus lines that were like magical and
It
trying to
was
open up the
the
portal with
Warhammer,
brute
not the
Hmm.
force.
pickaxe.
Did not work.
So that's the one that was complete. That's marked. Okay. I had the wrong thing marked as
And in
done.
my inventory, I have
Yep.
Warhammer head needs replace.
Yeah, so it would have been the Warhammer. I I had checked off in
Okay,
my notes the inverse was completed.
no, I just didn't know if you were continuing a deeper game with me. I'm like, uh-oh, they're giving me back the wrong stuff. Okay, great. Well, I'm happy to receive this. And what was the charge for this?
Well, on account of the circumstances, consider this one on the house. And a heartfelt apology. We are trying to keep a legitimate business. And he does like a slight bow. Only so much because he's still behind the counter.
Yeah, and he is an elf. Hmm. I'm very impressed by this behavior. And I bow in return and say, yes, I'll be sure to endorse this business, the Scalded Shield, to whomever I come across. This is quite generous of you, and I know that you run a great establishment.
Indeed, we try to, but unfortunately, some employees are not meant for this line of work.
Yes, I feel like you're putting quite a fine point on it, sir. I really appreciate you keeping such an orderly house, though.
Of course, of course. Is there anything you or your compatriots might wish to purchase?
I turn to them. Is there any needs for weapons, shields, these kinds of things? Well, it looks as though for the moment, all of our needs are satisfied, but we will return here if we need something. Thank you so much.
No, no, thank you, and once again, apologies for the inconvenience.
I bow again and make my way out of the shop.
I guess a quick question before we all head out.
Yes.
Um, well, for the shopkeep, if in a town like this, there's obviously things go missing, right? And you mentioned having some potential nefarious clientele that you've obviously gotten rid of, but let's say it's an unfortunate circumstance that maybe someone had taken something from your shop. Where would you potentially go looking for it? Like if you were going to try and find it, or if something um just happened to go missing, not like there's a lost and found per se, but is there maybe a place um or a person that you might go to find a lost item?
Um, the constabulary? Because if it was something that was stolen, then hopefully the perpetrators have been caught and the goods are in their care to which you could retrieve them.
Let's say if they were caught, is there um like local guard or a place where they not only the individual but the items might be held?
One
Zed
of
kind of
the
leans in.
many.
Between you and
Yes.
I think something might have been stolen from me.
Oh dear. Have you contacted the constabulary?
No, I didn't know how to reach them.
Oh. Well, you could just, well, if you go outside and look around, they patrol quite often.
Ah, I see. All right. Well, I appreciate it, and yeah, thank you again for your help.
Yeah, of course, of course. Like we said, we try to keep a legitimate business here.
Zed'll
All right.
nod
Well,
and then kind of follow everyone out if we're leaving.
thanks again. And as I leave, I imagine the door goes ding, ding a ling ling as we leave out of the door.
Yep.
All right. Well, apparently we could potentially go talk to the constabulary
Right.
and
He says they're around, but I've seen more thieves than police in this city so far.
right.
Are there any are there any ragamuffins hanging around? Groups of little thieving children?
At this hour, no, 'cause it's
They're all
getting kind
having
of dark.
dinner.
It's dinner time.
Yeah,
Oh,
they gotta get
this
their
yeah.
supper. Gotta get them victuals.
Well, that was actually surprisingly productive. Yes, I suppose we should head back to our home base there at the Adventurer's Rest. What do you think? Or is there something else we should be doing right now, now that we're out?
I kind of keen for a meal myself, and maybe we have a look around. Adventurer's Rest. You maybe chat with Scar, and if we see any of the Constalabre on the way, we can mention it to him.
Right, and maybe we can get you back there and clean the blood off of you here. You're looking a little bit
Oh, am I
resurrected.
still? Oh yeah, kind of like reaches up and his face is probably like all crusty. It's like dry blood and
But probably looking very refreshed from the magic potions and stuff.
wow, I've been walking around like this. Is there? It might be nasty, but is there like an alleyway that maybe has like a water trough or I don't know
Yeah, some
some
sort of
sort of
pump.
collection of water that Zed could just splash on his face?
Um, yeah, there'd probably be something around that's collected water. You'd probably see like an old planter with some water in it, like
Hold on,
like a
I
like
have
a
a water skin.
like an old planter that they might have taken the soil out of, so it's just sort of a box,
Okay.
and it's probably collected some rainwater that hasn't really been cleared out yet.
Yeah, so then Zed'll kind of walk over and um the kind of like ho hum nobody noticed me sort of uh he'll bend down and just splash some water on his face and just kind of uh vigorously just like scrub whatever's just on his face, just the immediate, you know uh not really trying to wash his entire self. um and then yeah, I guess he'll follow with the rest of the group if we're going back to Adventurer's Rest or wherever.
All right, so you collectively heading back to Adventurer's Rest, I guess, is what Val and Veldrin. What are y'all doing during all this? Like, they went to the shop, they went to do some deals. Like, what were you guys doing?
I think Valorous is window shopping.
Veldrin has 3 gold personally, and he's just kind of floating in the back.
I don't think I even have a single piece of gold, so
2 broke bitches.
yeah.
We're in the shop and Kozik's just like, yeah, does anyone want anything? And Vel and Val are just kind of like,
It's like
I'm
the
good.
economy is in shambles from It's Always Sunny.
All right, so y'all sitting outside window shopping, wishing you can buy stuff while people are inside buying stuff. All right. So yeah, no random events or circumstances impede your ability to make your way to the Adventurer's Rest. To which, by the time you get there, it is pretty busy. It's nighttime, so a lot of people coming in after hard days of whatever they're doing. You haven't exactly seen any, extensive, large fields of wheat or grass or anything. So it's like, what do people do around here? Um, but there's definitely a lot of people that are in the Adventurer's Rest tonight. The usual hustle and bustle. Um, and as per usual, Scar making use of his talents of entertainment and serving beverages. Um, Yeah, you wouldn't really be able to like unless you go up to the counter. It's kind of obscured what he's doing just because there's so many people like sitting at the bar, and he's busy serving, and you can see his arms and hands like flailing every so often, and doing motions and just sort of the entertainment side of things. Every so often you'll see like a hint of like a fire or a spark above everybody's head as it's kind of like a oohs and ahs as he is entertain alcoholing, alcataining. But you make it in. And I mean, there would be like one open table as you're technically part of the rush of people coming in.
All right, I'll go snag this table.
Yeah, I'll get
I'm gonna,
menu.
I'm gonna trundle over it. Yeah.
All right, so you go and snag a table. The only one left.
Yeah, I guess as we were kind of like splitting up, as Kozik goes to the table and Zed's gonna go to the bar for a menu, Zed'll just be like, "I keep an eye on your stuff as well."
Yes. I say wearily.
Yeah, so Zed'll head to the bar and he won't like nudge in where all the hustle and bustle is going on. He'll probably go down the bar to where it's maybe less crowded, or at least less eventful, and just kind of hang out and wait for a moment to get someone's attention.
All right, give me a performance. Let's see if you can get someone's attention. It is busy.
Well, he's so then. I guess his intent was to. Uh, he's gonna hang out for a moment, and then if someone, because you know, it's busy for sure, but especially good bartenders, they always have an eye on who walks up and kind of when they walk up and stuff like that. So he's waiting to see if someone comes up and says like, "Hey, can I get you anything?" And if it goes on for what, like, if he's sitting there for a good 5 minutes or something, he might kind of give a little wave. Um, but he's being patient. He's not trying to pull anyone away from what they're doing.
About 5 minutes. Let's see, how long would it take for him? Whole bar people. Considering how busy it is, it might take him more than 5. So definitely hit the 5 minute mark, as there's also a lot of entertainment and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because you'd see like the ladies that are also servers, they're on the floor right now, so they're busy working too.
Yeah, that's cool. I guess Zed's probably just kind of leaned up against the bar. He's maybe just watching um the performance, not trying to interrupt, and
Let's see this
like I said,
performance. If you're
just
up
kind
at
of
the bar, I
uh
have to describe things because if you see it, it's got to be cool. So for the most notable performance in the 5 minutes, um, Scar appears to have pulled forth a whole bottle of ale, and in the process of holding it up, he does like a presentation, running his hand, while holding the neck of it, he runs another hand underneath of it, and as part of the as his hand retreats away from the baseline of the bottle, he removes his hand from the neck of the bottle and leaving it suspended in midair, to which he does a flourish with his hands, kind of doing like a, points a finger in the air, but, a very dainty, like, point. But then he also moves his finger to his lips, almost as if, like, in a shush. And he does this thing with his fingers, kind of like he's pinching on a thread and pulling it away from the bottle, and it's almost like there's a thread attached to the bottle as it slowly spins, and like suspended in air, it turns, and you see the cork start to slowly uncork itself. But there is nothing beneath it. However, as the cork finally comes to relinquish itself from the bottle, you see the liquid start to pour out. However, instead of the liquid itself hitting the countertop, you see it fall into a shape, a like U shape, as if to say there is a cup there that is catching the alcohol, and then he removes his other hand from his face and snaps his fingers, and you see flame erupt the from the point of the liquid that's being poured, and it travels down, almost like watching a somebody light a trail of gas as it makes its way down to this invisible cup. And when it hits the water line, so to speak, the entirety of what was there becomes visible, and then the cup itself, the holding the container for the liquid, then bursts into flame, but only briefly. As the flame dies down, you see not just the silhouette of what was on fire, but the entirety of the cup. And it looks like a jeweled chalice. And then he pulls his finger even further away, and the bottle continues to rotate, but the liquid doesn't keep coming out until it's reset to its upright position. And then he takes his other hand and does like a come hither wave to the bottle as you see it float into his other hand, just sort of wait as his hand is waiting there, and it's almost like watching a ship dock at a space station, right? It's like his hand was there ready, and then the bottle just casually floats into it, and then he just very elegantly places it back on the shelf and proceeds to do some other trick afterward.
I presume we're all just sitting at the table going, "Where's Zed? Come on. He needs to get back with the menus."
Pretty much.
Hmm. Well, it is lively in here.
I almost picture Zed's just distracted. He's just watching the show after a little while. Uh, Ends up potentially finally getting a menu after a certain amount of time, gets back to the table, not really paying attention to how long it's been. And it's just like you all already have menus. Like a server's come by to the table and
Right.
but yeah, Zed, he's just he's just watching the show, kind of hanging out. He does want to speak to Scar, so he's kind of waiting.
All right, well, while you wait, what's the other group doing? That's gonna be a while. So
We've
Kozik,
taken the single table, correct? Like the one available.
yes.
Mhm.
What is going around the bar right now? There's a lot of people here, so like what are people up to?
I mean, a whole lot of drinking, yapping and drinking. Like the people sitting at like the bar, they seem enthralled by performances, which you can't really see them from where you are, but you can see like remnants of performances going on. Like, like I said, like alcohol being set on fire, so you'll see a flame erupt like in front of everybody, and they're just like there's awestruck oohs and ahs. Um, but as far as everyone else, like other tables at the tavern, it's just people sitting around, eating food, drinking their beverages. You probably see a group of people playing some dice game over in the corner. Um, Probably see maybe a group of potentially adventurers playing some card game. You know, there's also some light gambling here. You know, kind of like not casino, but amongst friends. You know, who like to make bets with each other, friends or compatriots. So it's just sort of busy tavern life. Hustle and bustle. But on the bright side, at least you're not being attacked by trolls. You're not being beset by mechanical creatures. You're not being enticed into making deals with demons. So it's kind of lackluster in comparison.
Yes, well, I guess compared to all the peril we've faced, this hardwood bench is something like a feather pillow to me right now. I'm just enjoying being alive. uh,
To which you all definitely would have gotten. You guys definitely would have gotten a menu by now.
all right, let's see. I want to see if they have some of these genuine fairy hot dogs on here.
The
Those are
hotum,
always tend to be good.
the hotum dogs.
Yes, the special special hotum dog.
Oh,
So if they have those, I'll place an order for those.
you know
I'm
they
sure we
got
can
it.
afford it.
Except for the people who can't, apparently.
Oh, I mean, we just got 123 buckazoids back there in the warehouse. That went into the community pool. That's all good for food.
Belgian and Valorous are eating ice soup.
Yeah.
It's very monkish.
All right, so y'all sitting at the table. All right, so we got
Wait, did Veldrin end up spending the all of that coin that I gave to him at the casino?
Much of it to make the potion for Zed.
Oh yeah, okay. I was just like, no, yeah. I was like, I gave you 50 gold.
Yeah, it was like 50 gold to make the potion.
Okay, it went to good use then.
yep. So y'all sitting at the table. You know, it sounds like you'll just respectively put in your orders for the most part. We all now they've kind of it has been hammered into the heads that how the menu works and how it functions and how you order and you know you all put in your respective orders. Actually, it does kind of matter a little bit. So we got one person getting Hotum dogs. This is what's Valor's getting, just water.
Yeah. No ice.
All right. And what's Veldrin getting?
What on the menu is 3 gold?
3 gold. That'd be a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the foods individually are not priced in gold. They're priced in like coppers and silvers mostly. So you can get cheaper stuff.
Awesome. Um, he's gonna go with a nice soup.
All right. So a nice vegetable or meaty?
Vegetable.
All right. So soup. That's going to be like a few copper. And Varus is just getting a water.
Mhm.
That's not really going to cost anything.
Do you really want only a water? Or could we get you something?
I'm fine with just the water.
Well, the party coffers are open to you, well, within reason.
Hmm.
All right. So you get your orders in. And as per usual, once you have basically hit the confirm button or the are you sure equivalent, that's per usual. The menu folds down into like just like a number and sets itself on the table as your order has been put in. So yeah, so y'all sitting at the table. Zed's chair is you're holding it for him, and just sort of out of nowhere, right? Just out of the blue, a goblin just walks up and takes a seat in the chair like he belongs there. Hey, how's it going?
Um, why did you sit with us?
I don't know. It's the only chair available.
Do you think you have permission to sit there?
No, but I'm doing it anyway. Nobody else is sitting here. It's
Is it
fine.
Zed's chair? Is it
Yes,
Zed's chair or are there more chairs?
it is Zed's chair. He's just not there
Um,
right now.
that is for our friend who is at the bar.
Ah, well, I mean, he's at the bar. I could just sit here until he's not at the bar, right? Yeah, I think that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I suppose I can allow that,
And he's just
but
like kicking his feet, just like dangling. He's just chilling.
my instinct is to eject you from that seat, sir.
It's fine. You wouldn't want to do that. That would be rude.
When our friend comes back, we'll see.
Okay. I could wait. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Can I do a perception? Is somebody picking my pocket right now?
I mean, yeah, you could perceive. You can definitively say nobody is.
Okay, good. You would say that if I got like a 4 or something, though, also. So I was like, okay, good. That's a good roll.
It's fine. You'll be good. You'll get back. I'll be out of your hair. No big deal.
Well, then, Mr. Goblin, what is it that you do for a living around here?
Well, currently, trying not to die.
I can sympathize with that.
You could say all of us are.
Ah, see? Then this meeting was meant to happen. We all have a common goal. not dying. Isn't it nice? Especially in big crowds of people where somebody were to try to murder you, that they'd probably stop before they get a chance to. Yeah, it's fine.
Uh, are you being pursued by somebody?
No, no, no. I no. I would. That's ridiculous. Why would you even assume something like no? It's fine.
Do I perceive any sort of undue attention on our table?
That would be more of an insight.
Okay, I'll try to roll one of those. Let's see.
No, of like the people who were up and about. They there doesn't seem to be like because obviously, right? There's gonna be people who just by proximity, by just in essence of being there, there will be eyes on the table, but you're not really able to discern the intent behind people staring at the table. So it's kind of like, if you're sitting in a restaurant and you just happen to be it's full, right? There's going to be somebody essentially facing your table. They're not really hidden. Is just you're not sure if any glances in your direction have intent behind them, or if it's just they're just happen to be looking in your direction.
I guess, yeah, I don't see like a table full of hobgoblins and half orcs like eyeing us angrily or something. So,
Correct.
well,
And a 10, 11, and a 12. So if somebody else rolled, it could have either been a 9 or a 13. Um, Sequential rolls, yay. Anyway, yeah, no, that's fine. It's no problem here. Nope. Safe in public spaces. Safety in numbers.
yes, there are quite a few numbers around.
Yep,
Are you with friends?
of course I am. You're right here, friends. And he says that a little bit louder than any other words he's been saying. Of course I am among friends here. Yep, friends. And while you try and figure out what the fuck just happened, the camera pans over to Zed, who is amidst the crowd of people at the bar and watching many performances. So what was Zed trying to do?
Uh, Same thing. I don't know. He's just waiting for Scar.
All right, waiting for Scar. So I guess the camera pans back over to the table. He is very busy. Well, actually, let's see. I guess the question is, how long are you willing to wait for Scar? Because you can definitely see because like I said, you came in with the rush, so now it's like in in the apex of orders coming in and him having to perform and do drinks and like you came in at the start of the rush basically. So now this is the height of it. So the question is, how long is Zed willing to wait? Because it could very well be minutes. It could very well be hours. You're uncertain.
I mean, if he's not getting addressed at all, he's just gonna go back to the table and wait. He's waiting either way. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see how long Zed will wait because other time isn't necessarily stopping, right? So like while you're waiting, other things happen.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out the allotment of time before you make your way back to the table.
I don't know if it doesn't seem like he's.
Well, we'll say 10 minutes go by, right? And he's still in the height of it. 15 minutes go by. Even though people leave, another one like immediately takes their spot, right? So it's kind of like that. So 10 minutes pass, still busy. 15,
So he's letting
20.
people get in line in front of
Yeah,
Zed.
it's like if I'm getting ignored, then I'm just gonna leave the bar. If I'm, you know, I don't know. If he's not gonna be able to get anyone's attention, and he's not trying to get anyone's attention. He's just, I don't know. He'll go back to the table just to make it easy.
All right, and at that moment you realize that Scar was looking for. No, just kidding. Um,
Yeah, he's like, hey, oh, hey, where'd he go?
nah, he's still extremely occupied.
He's cocktailing.
But Zed, as you're like leaving, you can give me a little bit of a. The check for this was. Assuming my thing works. I'd say investigation. It was the one that made the most sense for this. Because you were sitting there like watching people. Alright. Well, that's a 5. Yeah, you make your way back to the table. And yeah, you see a goblin sitting there, like elbows on like on the table, sort of like, their elbows on the table, but their heads like nestled in there, just chilling. You can see a little legs dangling. Ah, hi. Just hanging out with friends. Yep, in a big crowd of friends.
He hasn't told us his name, and we haven't asked either. But he was told that he was supposed to leave once you returned.
Oh, is this the other friend? Well, so what's that do? Like you have no idea who this person is. You've never seen this goblin before. They don't look like a complete ragamuffin. Like their clothing isn't like dirty and torn. It's just like commoner's clothing. But he's definitely sitting in the one chair that you would the party would have reserved for you. Hello, friend. And he just big, wide, toothy smile. This is your chair, right?
I guess so.
It is his chair, and I suppose I I feel like I'm trying to be gracious. Like, if you care to stand near us, I suppose you might do that, but you do have to leave the
Okay.
chair now.
Before you even finish that, the goblin jumps out the chair. It goes and stands right next to Kozik. Safety in numbers. Like real friendship.
Why do you need to be safe?
To not die. Don't you all, don't you, like, we
Well,
established
yes,
this,
but
to not die.
why is not dying such a pressing concern?
I mean, wouldn't that be on your top priorities too? Not dying? I mean,
It's
come on,
not
friend.
it's not something I'm actively trying to do right now.
Wait, so you're
Is there a threat?
no, we're all safe and normal, and there's nothing wrong whatsoever. Yep, nothing wrong.
If you bring a threat
And Zed,
upon yourself,
you immediately notice that this guy is trying to use Thieves' Cant, and nobody is picking up on it.
what is he saying?
Help!
Okay, so Zed, if Zed's picking this up,
It's in his
he's gonna.
tone. It's in his, like, in the subtlety, which is kind of not subtle. But there's it's definitely a Thieves' Cant kind of thing. Like, once you hear him say certain words a few times, it's kind of like, if you take this letter, this word, and you put it here, however you may envision it. But it's a goblet, so he's just kind of it, capital letters, many exclamation marks help in Thieves' Cant, though.
I guess Zed will respond and Thieves can't. And he'll say, "Who's after you?"
And the bullies, the big ones, over there. But don't look at them directly. They'll know something's up. And he says out loud, "Yes, friends, friends, friends. Let's all eat together, friends." And he goes back to, like, Thieves' Cant, sort of like, waggling fingers, or, like, tapping his hand, like tapping his fingers on the table. And I may have taken something, and then I tried to give it back, and they may or may not be after me, and they may or may not have found me here. And then he says out loud again, "Friends," and then back to Thieves' Cant. All right, they're definitely not friends. They're gonna try and murder me. Help! You
Is
you see,
there?
he's
So
like,
we have menus
yeah, like the yeah,
at the table. Okay.
because he's basically intermingling the Thieves' Cant with, like, talking out loud to try and
Yeah.
not draw any inclination that he's telling you these things. Pretty skilled at these can when you think about it, is how they're interweaving what they're saying, and also, you know.
So Zed's just kind of like looking at the menu, and he might be like flipping a page back and forth. Um, but he's still talking to this guy in Thieves' Cant. What'd you take?
Well, jewelry. It was shiny, okay? Can't help it.
Yeah, of course. Why don't they want it back?
As it may or may not have been jewelry that their boss had. Well, my ex-boss at this point.
And who's that?
Rig.
Can I?
And
I
so
can understand what's being said here, right? They're just speaking openly, or
No, this isn't Thieves' Cant.
okay. So I'm like,
yeah.
you are a loquacious one, aren't you? And I kind of just like have my my chin on my fist, kind of looking around.
And just out of curiosity, this was your plan? To walk up to a table of folks and what, just wait?
Hopefully, get some help. Or at least get out of here with and he says out loud, "Yeah, friends, I'm ready to go whenever you are, but you know, we could stick around for a while because we're friends here."
Yes, I don't think I'll share any of my hot dogs with you, but you can stay there for a while, I suppose.
Kind of kind of looks around the table, and he's still got the menu in front of him. Um, and he's figured out what he wants. Uh, so he'll like put in his order with the menu, but he's kind of, as he's doing that, kind of glances around at everyone at the table. Yvel, remember those eyes that you said were on us?
I think Vel stepped away.
Oh, well, um,
Valorous is
I believe
there
our
though.
friend here might have eyes on him as well. As he's just kind of like trying to subtly let everyone at the table, like fill everyone at the table in because they don't know thieves can't.
Actually, you can give me an
Right.
insight check. And this is for Zed.
Ugh. I guess it's 13.
So it would be a 13.
Yeah.
That would actually be enough in this circumstance because it is in regards to like you know who to look at for this. So I had a lower DC if you knew who you're looking for and who you're looking at. So a 13, just barely, you kind of notice as you're saying this stuff, like there's another table. Um, some burly individuals, and they look like they're watching this goblin, but I mean the 13 is just barely a pass. So they also kind of seem like they might be trying to listen in to anything you're saying also.
Okay.
But they're not just like dead locked on like a situation. It's more of a they're talking and you see like the side eye just at the right moment, just barely. You'd see like their their attention is less on the conversation they're having at the table and more on keeping an eye on this goblin in your table now.
So yeah, I guess Zed, in getting that feeling, just gonna kind of start small talking with everyone about their food and uh like what he's ordering and um kind of making it somewhat obvious to the people at the table, hopefully, that he's just BSing. Because Zed's not really the type to be like, "Oh, the weather today, wow, it was something," and he just keeps saying stuff like that. Um, uh, just a little bit out of pocket, somewhat all too obvious. Um, small talking with the table, but and not saying anything directly important or being like, "Hey, we're being watched," but trying to make it a bit obvious that, hey, we have attention on us right now. So I don't know if people pick up on that, but he's just Zed at the least he's just being a little awkward.
Can I assume that I am picking
I
up on
think
that?
yeah, Kozik would probably pick up on that. Yeah. Like every once in a while.
Valorous barely knows this guy, so that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. This is apparently just who this guy is.
Whoops, I accidentally hit advantage.
Well, we'd still be using the 11 because that was the first roll.
Yeah.
And probably with like some mannerisms and things like that.
Oh, so the rolls are so low. Feel bad.
You'll kind of see like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to. I don't know. We'll forget that. Yeah. So Zed's just kind of being a little awkward, and Bell and Kozik can pick up on. Zed's normally not like this. Something's weird. Something's going on, but he feels like he can't just outright say it.
Well, it is nice weather we're having, but I don't know. Do you think we should enjoy our meal before maybe finding a park to go hang out in?
Yeah, quite possibly. It's a good thing that we've got the rooms though, so that you know, we've got a place to stay if we were caught out in the rain, let's say. But it does
It might
seem like
rain.
it's a nice day. Maybe going out for another stroll could be beneficial to all of us.
I'm looking at Valrus and Veldrin. I'm like, well, I'm hungry though. Maybe we should wait for the food to come.
Oh right, yeah. I'm really looking forward to I got a big salmon fillet over a bed of rice.
Yep,
Well,
that
that's
sounds delicious. So good. We should eat together as a group of people who have known each other for so very long and we're the best of friends. Right, friends? Yes.
we'll see if you get some of my scraps.
In Thieves' Cant, Zed's gonna ask the goblin, what should we call you?
They respond with bark mark. Let me put that in the chat.
Did you just sneeze?
Yeah, Barky, what? You got allergies?
He just kind of barks at you. Like in terms of like non-thieves can, he just kind of lets out a little bark, but in thieves can't, bark mark.
And I'm kind of rubbing my forehead because I'm only half aware of what's kind of going on, but I'm sort of just going with it. Right.
So we're waiting for food. Sweet. Okay, and yep, yeah, lots of people in here. In and Valorous is trying to do trigonometry.
She's trying to figure out what the weather has to do with
Right.
a weird conversation.
just,
She's just completely lost.
just lost in the weather.
Mm-hmm. Suffering from -1 intelligence.
Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. So, yep. So eventually the food would come and ice water. No, sorry, water.
Mm-hmm.
Not even ice soup. Maybe that's what you're caught on. You were thinking like maybe I want some ice soup, and then they talked about the weather, and you're just like, wait, it's not snowing. How does this make
Yeah.
sense? Wait a minute, did I order water? I thought I ordered ice. No, not ice. Wait,
Well, we were indoors most of the day, so
how would he know about it being snowing outside? We're inside the whole time. Wait a
yeah.
minute. And it's just like everybody's going along with it, and you're just like, what? Wait, how come? Am I missing some? Wait, let me take some steps back here. Okay, okay. So if the weather wasn't icy, but they're talking about the weather, but we're inside, so how would they know? Is it raining right now? No, that wouldn't make it. Yeah, like you're looking, just going down the rabbit hole of like nonsensical.
Are there like windows in the bar section, or
Yeah, they'd have like a window in like the front.
it's like she just kind of like looks out the window, just double checking what the weather was?
It's definitely not raining, which is probably why it's adding to that confusion.
And it's coming to be nighttime too, so
She's just completely lost.
Yeah, yeah, yep. I can't wait to go up to our rooms and sleep in for the night, 'cause yeah, a good night's rest will do us great. Yep. And at that
I
moment,
definitely.
the food appears.
I was about to offer some sort of biting remark to this little one, but instead I'm gonna scarf down a hot dog.
Scarf, scarf, scarf.
Scarf, scarf, scarf. I'll bite my tongue figuratively and literally bite into this wonderful fey hot dog.
Mm-mm. That food looks delicious. Can't wait to take my share up to the room of safety and yep.
Well, I eat the other half of. I had ordered 2 hot dogs because real dwarves always get 2, and so I ate half of the other one, and then I kind of look askance at this goblin, and I, following the ancient dwarven customs, I do give him the end of my hot dog if he wants it.
Oh man, look at that. The whole hot dog in. That's more than I usually get. Man, isn't that? Oh man, we are friends at the best.
I nod, kind of in a satisfied way.
You are the best friend. Meanwhile, the goblin's like doing thieves' cant to Zed. When can we go into the room? I feel like they're watching me.
Zed Thieves Can's back. They are watching you. Pretend that they aren't.
I can do that. As he just scoots to the other side of Kozik to try and obscure vision from them as much as possible.
I'll allow that.
Yep. So when are we heading out? Are we all full? I got our food, our hot dog ins.
Mr. Thatcher, am I to understand that we're supposed to retire upstairs and take this one with us?
Oh, yeah, possibly.
I would ask if you can vouch for him, but I think that you've also just met him, so.
No, we didn't just meet. He says this out loud. We've known each other for a long time, and they're just you're just playing tricks. You're playing trick. Yeah, you're playing tricks. Zed, you see them like when Kozik says that they have definitely they are definitely being more interested. They're definitely leaning more into trying to hear what you guys are saying. And then you kind of see them like look at each other for a moment and sort of have a bit of chatter amongst themselves.
Well, if Barky here is going to appraise our valuables, then yeah, we probably best ought to do that up in our room. And he looks at Kozik, just like stares at Kozik. At just all of a sudden, the awkwardness and the weird day it's been is just gone. And he just kind of like there's just this moment of, as he's saying this, he's just locked with Kozik. He finishes his sentence and kind of blinks a couple times. But yeah, I might as well, after we enjoy this delicious food.
Right. Well, I definitely I'm already dabbing my mouth with my napkin, and I'm like, oh well, yes, maybe it's time for an early bed.
The goblin just nods. Yeah, so tuckered out. Yep. And I guess yeah, because he'd be doing this in Thieves' Cant too. In Thieves' Cant, he's essentially um, conveying to Zed, "I'll tell you everything when they're not staring directly at us."
Zed just kind of like does a slight nod and um gets a last spoonful of food and kind of scoots his plate forward, slaps the table with both hands as he stands up. Oh, all right. Well, I'm full. Let's get down to business, shall we? And he kind of
Right.
Wait,
gestures toward the stairs to go up toward our room.
Yeah, I push back the chair, and yeah, I guess we're giving all indications that we're going upstairs.
Somebody say, "Wait!" Did I
Well,
miss that?
no,
I thought I heard.
I made a weird noise that
Oh,
sounded weird, and then so that's what happened. But I assume that this will all be charged to the room.
you know what? Um,
Yeah. He
I
he
I I
reaches
can
over
cover
and
that. And he just like throws like enough, basically throws gold on the table. Yep, because friends help with, you know, lodging and stuff. Yep, proof that we are friends. Why would I pay for my friends' lodging if they weren't my friends, right? Cha-ching. He just kind of throws it on the table.
I admit I'm a little surprised.
I know my generosity knows no bounds, and the whole time he's just like, "Please, can we go? Can we go? Can we go?" A
All
little
right, well, I
panicked.
grab the gold.
It's basically enough for another night,
Okay, good enough.
because I don't have to search through my stuff for the price. Because I don't have it bookmarked very well. All right, friends, off to getting a full night's sleep. The goblin does not leave any one of you's aside, so he's just sort of suggesting going that way without leading the charge.
Okay,
Actually, you
cool.
know what? He'll go to Valrus. Yep, the strong silent type friend. Let's go. The kind of friend that if you mess with their bestest buddy in the world, that you would beat them up so bad. Yep, yep.
I guess I would do that.
I know, right? Let's go. And he's kind of like he like grabs your hand and starts like like a little tug, like kind of let's go, let's get going.
Mm.
He has no idea which room you're in, but he's ready to go.
Neither does
Valorous has no idea.
Valorous. Yeah, so I think Zed would just kind of like head upstairs and um like swipe our key to we've got 2 rooms. He'd swipe the key to one room and just kind of hold the door open for
Wait,
everyone.
wait, let's see if okay, he's not there.
Oh.
Was just checking to see if a certain halfling just happened to be in the hallway. Reoccurring theme.
I feel like he
Anywho,
only shows up when Zed's alone, just to make it odd.
so yeah, you make it back to your room. And I mean, the door opens and you walk on in. And like,
Zed's holding the
obviously
door open.
the goblin's the first one to go in. Like, he immediately just scoots in and you see him, like, from behind the door, like, peeking out in the hallway just to make sure nobody's following this.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zed's holding the door open for everyone. He's kind of like, like motioning for everyone to go in, and then he's gonna shut the door,
Mm.
but he's gonna stand outside. Just let the door shut on its own, like it normally would if people walk in, and he's just gonna stand in the hallway and look down the hallway toward the stairs and see if anyone pokes their head up or potentially follows us upstairs now that the door has closed.
You don't really need to make a perception check because they're not really being stealthy. You would see one of the individuals, definitely of, you know, definitely bugbearish, and he looks up the stairs like he was ready to come up. Like he turned around and looks like he was about to put a foot on one of the stairs, and then sees you just sort of hanging out, looking down, and then he stops and basically he's trying to nonchalantly act as if he was not gonna start walking up these stairs. Just sort of like he looked up, you lock eyes, and then he just sort of coughs and looks over his shoulder, and you know you don't even really need to do an insight check. He's act. But he's
Yeah.
like he looks over his shoulder, almost akin to like oh hell, look, my mom's calling me. He's like, what's that? Yeah. And then he takes his foot off the stair and kind of disappears back into the bar, or back into the tavern.
So Zed just doesn't say anything, doesn't really change his expression or anything. As the guy just kind of turns away and walks away out of sight, just kind of nods to himself and goes and opens the door. This time going in, shutting it behind him, and kind of in a hushed tone to everyone inside. I just like I thought. Someone followed us upstairs. So, Mr. Mr. Barkmark, is it? I I want to get
He
to
he
explaining.
he collapses like on the floor, just like exasperated. Like you could see, like not that you could see like his chest pounding, but like he's breathing heavy. It's kind of like the adrenaline is still kicking, but it's kind of coming down. Okay. Ah, I so thought I was gonna die out there. Okay, okay. And he stands up, dusts himself off. Name's Barkmark. Used to be, um, well, with the old old Greg's crew, they didn't really have a name for them, and yet just Greg's crew because his ego's really big. And well, he managed to get some information on something really valuable, and he was gonna go and pick it up himself. And old Barkamark ended up learning about it, and well, Barkamark may or may not have taken it, and here it is. And he holds up what looks like a some. I mean, it's an amulet, so it kind of looks like a gold amulet with like silver and like it's gold and silver, so it's like the string itself looks like silver, that kind of holds it together, and then there's like gold beads and like um the little piece, the centerpiece of the entirety of the thing is gold with like a little a sapphire like jewel embedded in it in the shape of like diamond shape. And I stole this, and he really wants it. I mean, it was shiny. I want it. And then he tucks it back into like a shirt. And they want it back. And typically, if you steal something from Greg, there's no returning it without getting stabbed.
I see. Well, it looks quite valuable. Do you know how much it might be, how much coin it might be worth?
No idea, but it's really shiny. So it's got to be worth a lot. And I wouldn't have had to have gone through a whole building and sneak through stuff and past people to get it and had to break the glass. And, well, that's kind of where I messed out.
Can I do like like an appraisal check, some sort of is that like an
Yeah,
intelligence check maybe?
that would be an investigation. Yeah.
Right, right, investigation, sure.
Yeah, it's shiny. Looks nice. Maybe valuable.
It well, I have to think it's probably valuable if these people, well, they might be trying to murder you just for pride, to send a message, even if it's not that valuable.
Well, well, I mean, I got it. That's something, right?
And what do you intend to do with it?
Bit. Hey, I stole this fair and square.
Normally, it seems that folks who try to steal things, they seem to want to sell them later.
Ah, this is this is why. That's like that's like getting a trophy for doing something really good and then just selling it.
Hmm, you might have some logic there. Well, do you know where? Do you have any idea where certain items might be sold if you wanted to buy or sell things that had been stolen?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you do?
Uh-huh.
You know where that is?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, that might be an interesting place to try going sometime, but well, what do you plan to do? If you don't plan to sell this uh, thing, then Where? What? How do you plan to? Are you just going to sneak out the bathroom window, perhaps?
Probably. I'm thinking, since they probably think I'm gonna be coming downstairs, and maybe I could just climb out this window here, and maybe tie some sheets together and just climb down, and maybe have to skip town. I don't know. I don't do really good on long trips, but maybe there's probably some other remote like little town I could hide in, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Greg's group isn't big enough to be across all these places. Maybe I'll hide in someone's. I know. And he snaps his fingers like he just got a great idea. I know. I'll hide in some merchants' barrels until they get to another town, and then that's where I'll live forever.
Don't you have anybody that you're leaving behind here?
Yeah, but I'd also rather not die.
I see. Um.
So what are we
Well,
supposed to tell your friends when we end up going back downstairs without you?
I mean, preferably don't talk to him at all. I don't know, or just tell him, I stole from you two, and I'm on the run.
did you
That's
steal
actually
from
not a
us?
bad idea.
What was that you both
Yeah, I
said?
believe they work for the man that he stole from.
Well, he was saying all
This
this in
Greg
common.
fella.
Like now that you guys are away, this is all common. He doesn't feel he has the thieves' cant in here. So you'd have heard all that.
Right. Well, can you before you take off, before you leave us, where would we go to this sort of market or place where you'd buy and sell stolen goods?
Oh, I mean, you just go to this street over here and this alley, usually around the evening time, and I mean, you just got to know the password, really.
And do you know the password?
I do.
Will you tell it to us?
I mean, will you beat me up? Oh God, I hear that go.
I'm taken aback. I'm like, are you serious?
No, not really. And okay, so the password for Greg, because he's not real smart, you won't believe it. Trust me. You ready for this? You have some paper written down? You have
Yeah.
paper for
Yes.
it? Okay.
I'm licking the end of my quill pen.
Okay. The password is password 1, 2, and then there's 3 dots because Greg doesn't like counting past 2.
It doesn't like or can't.
I don't know. Whenever someone asks, he punches them.
Okay, I got my answer.
And can we take it that he's described, accurately enough where we might find this kind of swap meet, or should I ask him to draw us a map?
I mean, both is fine. I mean, at the end of the day, you'll be able to get there.
That's just in terms of in the game. So, okay, but I draw a map based on what he said. I'm like, I think we can find this place if we
Yeah.
need to.
Yep. That's pretty much how to get into his like entry because a lot of different groups of people like us, I mean, we have different like strongholds or however you put the warehouses and stuff, but some of them are connected in a way that lets us all really easily get to the underground stuff. Not all of them. Greg is one of them, though.
Into the underground of Kronossus?
Well, I mean, into you know the shady part of stuff, the market of darkness.
I see. Yeah, we might find that to be a useful place. Hmm. Well, even if just for that, then I'm glad to have met you, Mr. Barkmark.
Yep, yep. Best thief extraordinaire that stole that one thing. But are you guys heading out of town anytime soon? I mean, we've got such a strong rapport, and we're clearly best friends. You know.
Alas, no, we certainly have other business to attend to in this town. You might find the barrel as your best way out of town.
Okay. Well, there's nothing else you need from old Barkmark.
Anybody else have any questions for him? Any questions about other goblin gangs? I can't remember anything specific that we needed to know.
Someone, when we were in the town earlier, had mentioned like there had been an increase in theft lately. Like that was one of the conversations that we caught. So he could be asked if he knows anything about that.
Okay, do you ask him that?
Or
I suppose
specifically,
so.
Kozik's lost what rod or amulet or whatever it is.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I guess I didn't want to be presumptive about that, but yeah,
Well, he might not have stolen it, but he might know who did.
right. So okay, I'll ask him. I'll continue to. Well, it's awkward to ask you this, but you seem to know a little bit about what's going on in the shady underground. What about has there been, do you feel as though there's been more theft activity recently? Or
Oh,
is that just
absolutely.
the,
And
oh,
he
yes.
reaches into his shirt and pulls out the amulet again.
Well, there's one example for sure. That's 1001. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the Yuan Ts have crowned their I guess multi-crown. I don't know. They have a weird struggle. Barkmark doesn't follow this stuff. Barkmark like this stealing, okay? So ever since they got in a whole kerfuffle of stuff, yeah, there's been a lot fewer guards out and about. And, people take advantage of there being not as many guards out.
There's been some sort of succession battle or something amongst the Yuan Ti nobility, something like that.
Probably something like that. I don't really I don't really know. That's more of
Well,
the Intermountain kind of stuff.
uh have you recently seen, I must ask you, just on the sense of needing a miracle, have you happened to seen a certain recently stolen magical rod?
No, not really. Not that I know of, anyway.
And if we go to this swap meet, this market of darkness, is it possible that I could find some sort of magic wands and staves and rods there?
I mean, definitely a lot of stuff gets stolen, and for whatever reason they sell it. They sell their trophies. I mean, that's kind of dumb to me.
Right.
You want
Well,
to
I think you've been a. Go ahead.
you want to take your trophies and you want to put them on the wall and say and point at it, and then when you have like 12 or 13 like little goblin kids running around and like asking like where'd you get that, Dad? You go, well, I stole that fair and square, and nobody's gonna, eh, nobody could take that away from me, I guess, unless they steal it. But until then, you get to say, that's mine. We did that back in the day when it's kind of a, you know.
Right. I'm sure I followed. I'm sure I followed that. Um. Yes. One more question for you, Mr. Barkmark. Uh, we recently found ourselves in a warehouse that may have been operated by one of the other goblin crews out there. One not Greg's gang, but one of the other ones. And there was a kind of scary, perhaps powerful, shadowy, winged creature that was imprisoned there. Have you ever heard tell of anything about that in the criminal underworld?
Oh yeah.
He does like
Yeah, it lives in you.
Hmm.
he does like two finger guns at you and winks. Nope, and don't intend to ever come across something that terrifying.
Yes, I suppose that would be pretty disastrous. I hope we never encounter that. And I look at Valrus.
Valorous is very poignantly not looking at you.
uh, okay, well, I never thought that I would say this, but thank you, Mr. Barkmark, and I'm glad to make your acquaintance.
Yep, it was a pleasure, and I am also glad that I am not murdered.
And before he does leave, that I do want to see, can I tell if he's stolen anything from me?
Uh, I guess, I mean, you could go through your stuff again and see if anything's changed.
I'm looking. I don't see anything having changed.
Well,
I'm kind of slyly like patting my pockets, pretending like I'm not doing that, but
and well, if there's nothing else that you need from Mark will start working on his cunning escape. And he opens the window
yes, survive.
and he pulls out of like his little pack like 50 feet of rope.
Well, we may meet again someday, sir.
Probably not. And then if nobody stops him, he will start climbing down the rope.
I feel like I don't know what else to ask it. It's like, okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye. Let's see, I gotta do an athletics for him. Oh, let's get an athletics. Oh, that's not the best. And then as you see him like disappear over the window's like ledge, like out the window, um, yeah, just reveal that. You hear you realize something. he did not tie off his rope very well. As you see the rope just like unravel from like the would say like the bed, like the leg of the bed, like he did not tie it very well. And then you could just hear, you see the rope unravel and just hear, shit, 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 no.
Well, I hope he finds his barrel.
And then you hear the sound of like trash cans falling over.
A cat yowls.
Yep, or
Right.
what's that common sound bite? The one was like a metal pole dropping, just a bing,
Right.
like all the sound bites you can think of are going off right now.
The Wilhelm scream.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And you just see the rope just get pulled away out of the window, and that
Oh, there he
individual left
goes.
to his fate.
Who knows what other secrets the DM had him hold?
Who knows?
Oh, well, that was something. I guess we can
Right.
go about our business now.
Well, we still need to make contact with House Rendari. We need to get to the noble secret archives,
That
or the
was
at least the capital
random
archives.
event in
And
tavern.
now we have a lead on this Market of Darkness, and that could prove to be profitable for us. But
Aye, that's very true.
and what about these goblin gangs? Do we still have some mission that we owe to them in some way?
At this point, I'd say no, especially because I don't know who stole from us. And if
Not.
it in any way, shape, or form has to do with the ones that I said I'd do stealing for them, then they can fuck off.
These alliances are so complex. Yes, I see what you mean.
Ambush League.
Well, I almost don't know what we've even done today, but it feels like a pretty full day.
I know, right? I got to become the boss of a whole gang. Yippee!
Oh, you.
And when he's in the room, he's definitely not pretending to be a scarf.
Right.
So this is what it's like to be a leader. I get it now.
Oh. Well, there's being in a position of leadership, and then there's being a leader.
Uh-huh.
Were you perhaps not taking advantage of their incredible denseness, little one?
They said I was special.
Oh, and you are.
I am. And I know how to make poison. One day. Dad, can you teach me how to make poison now?
Yeah, maybe we'll put some time into it. It's not going to be easy.
Well, I mean, if I'm then the boss of these people, and I tell them I could make poison, then I think I should know how to make poison.
Yeah, you should be of your word. That is true.
Yep, 'cause then what kind of leader would I be if I weren't?
So at this point, you said it was like evening when we first started heading back here.
Yep, it's definitely
Um,
nighttime now.
okay, so we're probably, I guess, gonna rest for the evening instead of going out and doing anything else tonight.
You're free to do what you want.
I would say it seems like everyone was pretty magicked out who was. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm doing okay, but
Yeah, I have a whole level of spell slots taken out.
I mean, I just need a short rest so I can like boot and rally here. But I think it's probably good to have a full, do the full night's rest thing at some point here.
Well, I'm gonna wash off all this nastiness
Gore,
and
yes.
then probably get some rest.
Seems like a good idea. I'll write in my journal for a while.
Which is the one that us Warforges don't sleep? And elves. All right. So sounds like people are wanting to get the long rest in. Ow, 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 ow. Oh,
Yeah, unless we wanted to go do anything else.
I mean, there's that nighttime, the nighttime casino.
Children's
That's
favorite
true.
place.
This is true. Belgium's got all their spells, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, you got enough in you for another adventure.
I don't know, but it should. I don't know if Kozik's gonna want to go out to go gamble some more.
Looks like Veldrin
Let's
has.
go lose more money.
I don't know. Veldrin has 4th levels now. Let's see. So it looks like Veldrin doesn't have any 2nd levels and he's 1 1st level. Yeah, you're good. You guys are good. Veldrin's got all
I'm
these.
great.
Got all their 4th level spells, got all their 3rd level spells. We don't talk about the 2nd level. You got almost all your 1st level. You know what? You never know when you need to use Wall of Fire in this town. Or Blight. You know, you never know. Alright, fine. Long rest. So, you guys all settle in for the evening. You know, get your nap in. Get your probably a long needed rest because you guys have been quite literally, uh, running all over Kronossus. You've been chasing leads. You've been running after little one. You've been getting beaten, battered, bruised, stolen from well, attempted to be stolen from. You caught that kid. Um, I mean, you
I
got some
also
good food.
I was magnanimous. I got him money.
Yep, he almost got ripped off, and he kind of made it so he actually got a good deal and not the
Right.
inverse effect. So you could say it's been a, productive day. So, as everyone settles in, Valorous,
Mhm.
your night is probably a little bit less restful.
Oh no.
As you lay down for the evening, you're settling in. This is this is probably the most comfortable location you've been in for a while because you've sort of just been meandering about, probably sleeping in the streets.
Mhm.
Maybe a little bit of hospitality here and there, people letting you couch surf for a day or two for, small favors like, moving a couch or lifting some boxes or painting a fence or, just odds and ends. Definitely not nearly as interesting as being an adventurer,
Mhm.
but it got you shelter for evenings and what have you. And as you settle in for the evening, you lay down, shut your eyes, and when you finally feel like the actual restful sleep start to kick in, your eyes open and it's your view is, you're laying down, so you're looking at the sky. There is no roof above your head. There is an open sky, a a sky of blood red, you could say, and you can hear the sounds of what sound like some kind of a battle going on. You can hear the sounds of weapons striking shields. You hear the sounds of catapults, and even like when you're laying down, you can see what looks like uh, giant stones being launched that have been set on fire, flying overhead. You see arrows flying over your head because the view is like you're laying on your back and looking at the sky.
Mhm.
And you, as you take notice of these things, you also seem to hear several footsteps approaching you. What do you do?
I try to stand up.
You do just that. And as you do, within your vision, you are essentially trapped between what looks like an encroaching army of some kind, in a sense. Lots of creatures, but they are humanoid, but very mutated, very devilish, very fiendish, some of them, some more than others, some quadrupedal creatures, some, bipedal.
Mm.
But regardless, you, without really needing to think twice about it, this is some kind of demonic invasion. And on one side is this encroaching aggressor, and on the other side, looks like there is a castle wall. Um, and you can see the towers behind it. You can see flames jetting out from behind the walls, as if to say, you know, something may or may not be on fire, or a few
Mhm.
things, or people. And as you look, you see one of those rocks get flung overhead and just slam into one of the towers, just completely obliterating it. You hear screams of terror. You hear sounds of battle. And you can just see just everywhere there's small skirmishes, but the main force is encroaching, and you find yourself unable to move. You're just a bystander. You want to move your legs, you want to move your arms, but there's nothing you can do. And this just horde of devilish and fiendish creatures just starts running towards you and eventually past you, almost like you're not even there. But you can feel some of them like rub against you as they move past you. You can feel yourself kind of, shoulder check kind of situation. You get spun a couple of times. Um, so you know that there's some physical interaction. They're just not aware of you as they rush towards these walls, and at that almost perfectly timed moment, one of these boulders slams into one of the outer walls, creating this huge gap, and this army of just creatures just starts to flood in. And then you snap out, and then, you know, sorry, you don't snap out yet. And at that point, you see this very large hulking beast, bipedal, but it looks like it has like um these just massive wings behind it. Very almost akin to like the body type of like a minotaur,
Hmm.
but definitely more devilish, mutated, or corrupted. Corrupted's probably a better terminology. Um, and it has this flaming sword in one hand and like a whip in the other, and it just raises its head to the sky, spews just a cloud of flame in the air, and then starts running forward. And as it gets to where you are, that's when you snap out of it. A bit sweaty, no less. Just sort of you wake up in a bit of a sweat, but your body probably feels a little warmer than normal. But everybody wakes up. It's been you get your full long rest in, so everything resets.
New day.
And hmm, yeah. So new day.
Well, all right, I know. I slept like a log buried underground. That was pretty nice sleep. How about you, Valorous?
I've had better.
Right. Well, at least the beds are pretty soft here.
Yeah, it was a comfortable sleep.
And I kind of smile and nod and say, "Good. It's good to hear." Well,
I
anyway,
need to
and then
hydrate. That's my water.
Mr. Thatcher, did you ever get a chance to actually talk to Scar, the barkeep down there? Apparently not.
Nah, he's still sleeping. See? And little one just like pokes Zed a
Little
couple
lazy bum.
times. Still sleep. I can
Well, I don't
vouch
even
for him.
know. I don't even know if Scar was on during the day, but maybe he can talk to him now.
Yep, maybe. And whatever you just said, I was totally and paying full attention and definitely not thinking about how to make a poison.
Good, good. Well, I think we should probably make our way downstairs and figure out what our first thing we're going to do today is.
Well, as Dad would say, yes.
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 Well, I certainly don't have to pray to any evil gods or anything like that, like Niavara. So, yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
ready to go downstairs.
isn't your Dark Lady an evil god? Yes?
Well, I'm gonna say no.
Well, why not? Everybody else seems to
She
think so.
she helps those that need help. Sometimes the she helps the outsider, those who don't have a lot of resources in this world.
Yeah, isn't that what Niavaras and gods do too? They help people who can't help themselves by giving them stuff to help themselves with.
No, I think it's a little bit different.
Oh, the other one like flies on your and lands on your shoulder. How's that?
Well, these are she's praying to ancient elder underground spirits, and the Dark Lady is the queen of air and darkness, one of the Fae. You know, one of the magic entities that actually live in this world. I'm not exactly
Uh,
sure who those personages are that Niavara prays to, but
So, are
he's
you
welcome to them.
saying that your goddess is not as good as them because they are not here?
She's a patron, if not a goddess, and well, she's helped me out a lot, I have to say.
But how does that differ from Niavaras? They seem to help her out a lot.
It's a matter of intent, attitude. You'll
Uh,
understand.
ah, okay.
Once you learn more about poisons and things like this, I'm sure you'll get a different perspective on all this.
So what you're saying is my knowledge and learning is being uh, uh, stunted by not knowing poison?
Well, I think some people could look at it that way. Yes, little one.
Ah. He rubs his little tiny dragon chin. Ah.
A young dragon who knows the art of poisons and antidotes, probably. That would be quite something in this world.
Ah. So until I learn how to poison, then I won't know religion?
I'm you. You need to ask your dad.
Okay. He immediately flies off your shoulder and goes and lands on like Zed's chest as he's like laying down. Or on his back, however Zed's sleeping. And then So Zed's like laying there. The little one just starts chewing on his hair. I got and I got I got.
Oh, what? What?
I need to know poison so I can learn religion.
What?
Yeah. Until I know how to make poison, I don't. Apparently, I don't know how to differentiate religion. So I need to unlock my skills as a poisoner to know how to make determination of religion and how it works, and I'll have a new perspective.
Okay.
I'm shrugging my shoulders. I think he's hungry.
Yeah. Zed'll dig around and he'll pull out 2 gold coins and he'll flick both of them up in the air at the same time. I'll eat breakfast.
So he will go and nab one out of the air, while simultaneously one of the little amethyst crystals that hovers about his body catches the other one. Something you probably didn't know he could do. And it just sort of hovers back to him as he grabs it off the hovering amethyst, and it just goes back to basically hovering about his like body as it normally would. And then he eats it. Almost like a segmented sword.
Nice.
Well, little one's thoroughly distracted now. What was I saying? Yeah.
Phew.
Dad, what's religion? I don't know. Go talk to your mother. Okay.
Nice. Well,
There's
shall
an
we?
angle of this where little one could have been told that he needs to know the nature of the spirit before he knows what it is to take someone's life.
Geez, good thing he wasn't talking to you. Although I'm thinking about the questions that the child has posed to me. This is interesting, but I won't outwardly admit it yet.
Hmm. All right. So, as you guys will have the opportunity to ascertain what your goal will be. This is a good like stopping point, as when everybody wakes up, we may have Niavar and Sari to be a part of the discussion of what the plan
Yeah.
is, of what is the goal, what to do, or what the plan is,
Yeah, that
basically.
makes sense. Gives everyone the opportunity to get their long rest in and everything.
Yep, and Niavar of all people being the one with the least spells. Well, as far as use the most, I should say. Alrighty. So with that, that is sesh.
The thieves' world here. Like, all right.
Yeah, that was cool. Looking forward to the next one.
Yep, we learned a
Uh,
few things, and yeah, I'll be back here next week.
Good session, everyone.
Uh,
Good session.
Okay, cool.
Alright. So with that, whoop. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around and watching. It is greatly appreciated. Um, so for those of you on the Ubles Tubles, we do this every Tuesday at 7:40 Pacific over on Twitch TV /cubed222. Episode 170. Yep. So yeah, I guess I'll do a quick little wrap up here to not, waste your time or anything. So I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And as far as the plan for Wednesday, pretty much back to the old schedule. We pretty much only, I pretty much only do D&D on Tuesdays. The rest of the week, I'm a variety streamer, so depending on what games you might enjoy, well, pop on by. Maybe some weird indie game I'll be picking up and playing. So, anywho, with that being said, stay good to yourselves, stay good to others, and try to keep an open mind. But until next time, have a good one, party on, stay fresh. Farewell, adventurers. Farewell.